All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer and Brian DeGrizzly, and we are gonna review the new Zendaya movie. I was thinking of her first name. I was like, wait, no, it's just Zendaya. It is the tennis movie Challengers. So I know we're a little late to it, and but I think it's a movie that has a good discussion. I think it's going to be up for maybe some awards when that time of year comes around. Um,
I could
I
see
don't think,
2 or 3, but
yeah,
maybe,
nothing big,
maybe.
but yeah, yeah. But it's a movie a lot of people are talking about too. A lot of people love it. So yeah, we're going to discuss that. We're going to get to our ratings, into our likes and dislikes.
I got
Um,
synopsis up, so why
yeah,
not?
yeah. And then Brian, you want to let them know what the movie's about?
Sure, alright. Satoshi, a tennis player turned coach, has transformed her husband from mediocre player into a world famous Grand Slam champion. To jolt him out of his recent losing streak, she makes him play a challenger event, close to the lowest level of tournament on a pro tour. Tension soon runs high when he finds himself standing across the net. Uh, I should have said from
Yeah.
what it says.
That's it.
Yeah, it's all it says. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, it's a pretty simple movie. Two guys fall in love with a girl. Stuff happens, and then they kind of like become best friends to never talking to being in a tennis match together.
Exactly. And that
And stuff like
then all of it is instigated by Tashi. So
that. I like that. You sound so thrilled, Brian, to be discussing it.
uh well, might as well. I'll tell you what I think about it.
Yeah, go for it. What do you think?
So, um once again, so I do like individual sports where um when you are when it's individual, when you are the only person you can rely on and you're going against another person, which works well for real life things. And I thought the actual movie was okay. Um, I don't think I enjoyed Zendaya acting. I didn't think the other
Mm.
two guys were great. They could have been played by anyone. So was it Patrick Zweg? What was his name? And
Uh, the
I know
main two
Art
guys.
Donaldson. Yeah,
Oh,
Art
Art,
Donaldson,
yeah, Art
but
Donaldson and
I don't
Patrick
know.
Zigwig.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think like it was great, but Zendaya herself was great, and she made me hate Tashi. I mean, it was I hated her so much, and I think something that you said for the movie was just very horny, just very just always on the edge of just really want it. It doesn't show sex, but it does always insinuate it and all the time, and she uses the sex to really I don't know if it's motivate or to get her way. Always very manipulative,
Mm,
very I don't know, it just at the end, I just didn't enjoy watching the movie. Now, do I think it's a good movie? I think it was a pretty okay movie, but I just did not enjoy the tension and the type of person I was watching,
mm.
and how stupid the two guys were.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just did not enjoy it. So cinematography was really nice. I do agree. The way they shot the movie was interesting in itself.
Mhm.
Um, but and that was almost like another character inside the movie. But there are a lot of times I was bored. Some of the comments were I didn't care about, and I think that stands from me not caring about the other two characters. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, so but it was a lot of tension. It was a lot of stupid moves that I just thought you should see this coming, and you guys are falling for a hook, line, and sinker. But it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm kind of right there with you, man. Like, I love the way it was shot. I love the freaking soundtrack, man. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. That was some good soundtrack. And it was perfect for like this synth wave kind of vibes for everything that was going on. great. Zendaya was amazing. She was really amazing as being this like manipulative, horrible person. Like, oh man, like you hated her at the end of this movie. You're like, oh, you don't deserve anything. Like, blow out your other knee. Hope your other knee blows up too. It's like, like, oh man, you know. Um, and it was shot. I love some of the shots where sometimes you're the tennis ball, sometimes you're kind of like the way it was shot, and little things like tennis is known for like the head back and forth, because you're following the ball, and like there's a shot where like everyone's doing it, everyone's looking, and it zooms into Daya, and then she's doing, but then she stops, and everyone
Yeah.
else is doing it. I thought that was such a cool scene. Like there's some really cool shots in the film, like awesome, like cool looking stuff. Um, but with that being said, some of the like I thought the story was just so maybe it's because I'm older. Both of us are older. In
Yeah.
relationships, have kids where it's like we're past that
Like
part of our
I wouldn't be
lives.
part of that in my life. Like I just
You know,
would leave. just,
yeah,
just,
yeah.
just
It was very, like I said, very horny. It wasn't a lot of sex. So they didn't show the sex, but it was very horny, and so I think somebody in our live chat said it's very sensual stuff and foreplay.
yeah.
Exactly what it was. It was like a lot of leading up to the sex and a lot of and it was just like for me, like I don't know if I'm a prune at this point. I pruned it was like, oh, but it was just like, like I feel like it didn't really push the story as much, you know, but because I mean it kind of did though. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It didn't feel comfortable with me with it.
Mhm.
But and then the two guys, they were okay. Like you said, they were kind of replaceable. You could have gotten any other two guys, and it would have been just the same, I think. But besides that, I think the plot was kind of. Yeah. The one thing I really didn't like, and I usually don't mind the time jumps like that. I
Mhm.
don't mind when you tell part of the story, then it cuts back, then it cuts back. But the way it was doing it was just like, oh, you're here, and now you're 4 years ago, and now you're back to the tennis match, and now you're 4 years ago, 2 months after that, and the way
Yeah.
they did is like, oh, 2 weeks later from 4 years ago, and then they go back,
But
and it's just like, I
see
was like,
that I didn't mind because it felt like each
it was,
scene that they're doing that was
yeah,
the other striking the ball, and
yeah,
now the
yeah,
ball's in your court, and this is what he did, and now the
yeah,
ball's back in your. And it was illustrating their relationship and why they're playing, doing that the same way. So
yeah.
I didn't mind that. I just didn't care.
Maybe that's what it is, 'cause I just didn't care about it because they did it, and I was like, "Eh," and it was just like, I don't know, man. It's just like it's too much. I'm like, I really don't care enough about it, and usually I don't mind stuff like that, it doesn't really bother me, and I prefer a good story when they have cool time loops like that and like what's going on. Like I love that kind of stuff, and this one just didn't do it for me with that. But besides that, I'm trying to think of like bad stuff. The acting overall was okay. As much as the two dudes were kind of replaceable, but they did the job.
They're fine. Yeah, that wasn't.
You know,
I just didn't care. Once again, I did. I think that's my overarching thing. I didn't care enough
yeah,
about the movie, but I didn't care about the characters. So when their hearts are broken, I was like, man, she is terrible.
yeah,
But yeah, he might deserve it.
yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, I do got one thing. The ending. So this is full
No.
full spoiler. Full spoiler. Giving you guys warning right now. The way it ends is the director is like, you don't know who wins, kind of thing. Like you decide who wins. I was like, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, according to tennis, like Art would have had point to Doug. Patrick won the match.
Yeah.
Patrick won. That's why I was like, I don't get like what the ending was, and then they're back and forth, back and forth, and then he like spikes it like he's playing volleyball, and he's already on the other side of the net. And I was like, he lost the match. It was like, and it was just like the ending was like overall, just the whole everything that happens at the end, not just that part, was just like it was because it was going like going up, going up, going up, and then once things happen, it goes like 100 miles an hour. It's just like it goes so fast and everything's happening so quick,
Mm.
and they're doing the whole sign to each other and stuff like that. And I was like, it was the ending was paced really weirdly compared to the rest of the movie for me.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I agree, but I felt like it was more like a race, a car race, and
Yeah.
then at the end, instead of getting it was just a crash, and you're watching a
Mm,
crash.
yeah.
Well, that's kind of
Kind
how
of.
I saw it. It was all coming in anticipation about who's gonna win, and just crash.
Yeah.
Everyone blows up, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
What it was.
That's what I was like, no, Patrick won. Like it would have been point deduction. Patrick would have won. Like that was it. So I didn't quite get that. But it was just like the whole like even that, because I'm like at the end I'm sitting there, I'm like, so after 20 years, you guys are like bros before hoes?
Yeah,
I don't what do you do after she
you've been
fucked up your
married, dude.
lives? Yeah. It's like you guys are like hugging now, and like even she's like, yes. So I was like, wait, why are you cheering? Like what? I was like, oh man, it's just like it was interesting. It was an interesting ending. So yeah. Anything else before we move on to our ratings? Anything you might have
I
forgot?
mean, no, not really. I mean, it was okay. You know,
No, yeah, pretty much. But cool, let's get into our ratings. So we do things nice and easy. Now, later, never. Now means you gotta rush out and go watch it now. Later means you can wait till it's at streaming and watch it at home, and never means just skip it altogether. What are you giving this one, man?
later. It's
Mm,
I am probably gonna watch it again, but definitely be a streaming. I would not go back to the movie theater to go see it again. But I would watch it as I was doing something else. So to me, that tells me it's a later film. I don't feel like I need to go watch it right now.
mhm.
The best part of the film is Zendaya, the competition part, and just leaves a lot for me wanting. So it's a later.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's later too. It's just I don't want to go see it in theaters. My girlfriend's like, yeah. After me telling her about it, she's like, yeah, I don't want to see it. So we'll probably watch it once it's out on streaming. You know, but even then, it might just be one and done. So but it's definitely a later. I think if you like tennis, you'll like it. If you like cool shot movies or really awesome soundtracks, or if you like Zendaya,
Zendaya, I was gonna say,
if
yeah.
you like Zendaya,
Or
it's definitely
sexual
gonna be really cool.
tension. If you don't mind sexual tension being the driving point of a movie,
Yeah,
you know, yeah, I think all those would be reasons why you will say this is,
yeah,
something you really want to see. But besides that,
yeah, yeah. It's a lot of like love kind of stuff, but not really love, more um, like I guess yeah, sexual attention might probably the best way to like you know, so
lusting almost.
lust. Yeah, really, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, we're both giving it laters. It just wasn't our cup of tea. So but I know people are absolutely loving this movie because we're on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience gave it a 73, which is not bad, with 500
Mhm.
ratings, verified ratings, with 311 reviews from the critics to 88%. So it went down a
It
little bit,
is,
but
but it is a critic type of movie. I can see a
oh yeah,
critics really loving it. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a fully artsy farty kind of stuff, but for the most part, it's definitely a movie that I think critics love. From the music to the way it's shot to the acting, back and forth in times and stuff like that. So yeah. Um yeah, so Luca, I'm not even gonna pronounce his last name, but he does other movies that are similar to this, very, very horny movies. So if you feel like his filmmaking, you'll definitely like this one. But yeah, I think that's it for us for the review of Challengers. Leave your comments down below if you're watching on the replay. Let us know what you think about it. Do you hate it? Do you like it? You somewhere in the middle. We know a lot of people that are just absolutely loving this movie.
Mhm.
So let us know what you think about it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and join us live every Monday and Thursday. Talk movies, TV, all the other fun stuff, comics and stuff like that. So come and join us live. And if you're watching live, stick around because we're going to move on to our next topic.